Starting your own practice is hard for many chiropractors. It's riddled with both struggles and successes. But here at the Chiropractic Philanthropist, we make it easy by having chiropreneurs and entrepreneurs share their struggles and lessons learned in life and business so that you don't have to make the same mistakes. And now here's your host, Dr. Ed Osborne.
Hey chiropractors, tired of doing weekend-long health screenings at health fairs? Is spending weeks preparing for talks or workshops getting in the way of quality time with your family and friends? Then why aren't you tapping into social media for new patients? 1, you don't have the time to learn, and 2, you don't want to waste the money trying to see what will work for you. Wouldn't it be great if there was a done-for-you social media marketing service that you could try risk-free to see if it would work for you? Wouldn't it be great if that service could bring you anywhere from 10 to 45 new patients per month into your practice? Guess what? I have a solution for you. 3S Chiropractic Systems is a company run by chiropractors with years of web and social media marketing experience, and they're offering you a complete, affordable, done-for-you package. This system is swooping across the globe and is geographically exclusive. So find out right now if your area is available. They offer a full money-back guarantee for the first month, so there's no risk. Apply at 3schiropracticsystems.com/TCP to make sure you don't miss out. All right, TCP listeners, I have an incredible guest today. That is actually Dr. Tim McFadden. Dr. Tim, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great.
I'm excited to have you on the show today. I think that, and I'll throw in a hook here, is, at the end of this, we're going to talk about an incredible resource that you've actually come out with. And I'm all about helping chiropractors be more successful. And I know that this is going to really help a lot of them. But for the docs who don't know you, Dr. Tim, tell us a little bit about you as a chiropractor, but also you as, the entrepreneur and just the leader in the profession today.
Sure. I think the most unique thing about me is that I'm old and I'm new at the same time. So this is a second career for me. I started chiropractic in my mid-40s, maybe late 40s. I'm 56 years old. Have a background in high tech that I did before I went to Palmer out in Iowa, and joined the profession relatively late. It's been kind of I think it's been mostly a blessing because I've had some experiences that maybe had I decided to go into chiropractic years ago when I had actually thought about it. I wouldn't have had that life experience that has brought me to where I am today. So that's been kind of a good thing. But I'm an upper cervical chiropractor. I live in the Northwest, not as Northwest as Dr. Ed here, but I'm in the middle of the state of Washington, Yakima, and enjoying life.
Yeah, and what I love about this, we'll call it a story, is that, you've pretty much reinvented yourself. I can definitely resonate with that. And I think a lot of chiropractors, they have challenges with thinking or believing in themselves enough to actually go out and learn something new, right? It's crazy.
Yeah, it's funny because I get this quite often, and just recently I was at a wedding, and my brother-in-law said some things to me that, I've heard it before, but coming from him was kind of interesting how he looked up to me for what I did, which was, leave a profession for another profession, in the, let's not pull any punches here, in the late stages of life, or middle age anyway, past in my 40s, and he was very complimentary, and like how much he looked up to me for doing that and how difficult it was. And, it's funny how sometimes things happen in your life, and how you respond to those things really can make a big difference. And I never, ever felt like I was doing something like, incredibly challenging, monumental, even though, yeah, it definitely was. But I never looked at it that way, I guess. But yeah, it was a challenge, learning new things. I mean, my undergraduate degree, Ed, was in English. So, not quite the prerequisite training for chiropractic school. And then I ended up in the high tech industry. So talk about a journey.
I got to tell you, I mean, I remember vividly what it was like to be in chiropractic college, and it was grueling to say the least. Just even to get the prerequisites to go. I mean, I know, and I'm sure anyone who's listening, whether it's a student, everyone remembers those days, and then what it takes to get through those tests to actually get your license and all that stress that's involved. But now you've actually taken it to one of the things that I love about you is that, dude, you're a hard worker. Like, you work hard. Not only did you get that and like this next degree, but now you continue to just self-improve and expand. Like, you're learning more things and you're creating more. So I love that. I would call you definitely a producer. So one of the things that we love to talk about too is, affirmations. Some positive words that you would like to drop on docs today.
Well, the first thing that came to my mind when you asked me to do that was a quote that I just remember from when I was very young, that has stuck with me, and I think probably has had a guiding influence in everything that I do. And it was a quote by Zig Ziglar, and it's probably well known, so I'm not dropping anything new on anybody, I don't think. But it definitely had a big impact on my life, and it's, you can get what you want out of life by helping other people get what they want out of life. And it just kind of made sense to me that, if you try to stay outside of yourself, I think it's helped me quite a bit in the chiropractic profession with my patients, because it's all about them. It's not about me. And so that's kind of the knowledge that I would drop on people today is that, if you focus outside of yourself and really look to improve the lives of other people, it comes around to you big time.
Yeah. So essentially just, and this is so true. And I've kind of learned this over the last couple of years too, is that, if you just listen to what other people want, or what they need, what their problems are. Mm-hmm. And if you can solve those problems, you create and you add value, but you also create a great lifestyle for yourself too. Like, it can be a business.
Yeah.
Dr. Tim, I want to ask you about a struggle. I want to ask you about a time where you ate struggle for lunch, like where you got knocked down and you got back up. So what was it? What was the story? What happened? And then tell me a little bit about what the lesson was, the takeaway from that.
Wow. So many to choose from. I would say probably because it's the freshest. Getting out of chiropractic school, I think I had some maybe an edge on some of my classmates, and it was due to my age and my experience. And so I may have taken that for granted a little bit, and so my thought was after chiropractic school is, I wasn't going to go be an associate for somebody because that would be wasting my time. I want to get rolling. I want to be my own boss. I want to, and I think there was a little bit of pride involved, maybe, that like, there's not a doc out there that's going to be able to teach me anything. So I'm just going to go out and do this, right? I'm a grown boy. Boy, that didn't work out so well. And so, the first years of practice, it was a struggle. It was a struggle. And you want to know the thing that was the biggest struggle for me was that it really affected my belief in myself. And that's something that I've never really had much of a problem with. I've always been pretty positive, regardless of the situation. Yeah, I've had some challenges in my life, but I've always approached them with a real upbeat, positive outlook, that, hey, I can get through this kind of thing. And so when that started messing with my belief, it brought me down. And I started to play small ball and really thought, well, I'm just going to it's just going to be living through a struggle. That's what it's going to come down to. And there wasn't going to be anything at the other end of that struggle. I was in it. I was in the mud, and I was just going to trudge through the mud for who knows how long. And then, I think, and Dr. Ed, not to toot your horn or anything, but you had a part of it as well. I think what happened was I started to surround myself with the kind of people that were doing things and were making a difference. And that kind of inspired me to, hey, you know what? That's me. That's the way I am. So I need to be more like these people. And that's kind of I would say it's really been in the last 6 months or 8 months or a year or so that I've really started to think, hey, Tim, you're a pretty sharp guy. You're a pretty, let's get back to the old Tim. And literally I've had family members tell me that it's like, my sister, she told me a couple months ago, she said, it's really cool to see the old Tim back.
Nice. I got to tell you, Dr. Tim, you're not alone, because when I came out of chiropractic college, and even my wife, we felt the same way. Like, it was like, we got this. We have chiropractors in our family. We don't need help. We know how to run a practice. We, carry them with CA for years, and we struggled for years. So yeah, that ego had to be put aside, and it was like, no, I need to learn from people who I just needed someone for accountability, someone for strategy, someone to just drop the knowledge on me that I didn't know that I didn't have. So yeah, you're not alone. I'm sure that there's a lot of docs who can put themselves exactly in that same position. I always like to talk about perspective too, and perspective meaning like, what is going on right now in your life that's just incredible, that's just, off the chart?
Wow. I would say that things are coming to me. It just feels like opportunities are like literally, and I don't know if it's maybe that I am more aware of it because I've kind of pulled myself by the bootstraps out of that mud pit that I was in. And when you're looking down, it's hard to see, right?
Yeah.
And so I think that from a perspective standpoint, my perspective has changed, and because of that, I'm seeing things. But it also really feels like, Dr. Ed, that stuff is just like coming to me, and business, whether it's business opportunities, things to keep me busy and churning, which is what it's that grind that, I embrace it, and so yeah, that's what I've been noticing lately, and whether it's working with the exogenous ketones, that community, whether it's this new app that I've developed, it just seems like things are coming to me. It's pretty cool.
Tell me about Chirodex. I feel like I know a little bit about it because I've seen you featured all over the place. But tell us, for those who don't know about it, but then also fill me in on the details. Like, how does this work?
Yeah, sure. So for the last year or so, I've been noticing on Facebook people using that platform, chiropractors using that platform, and I've developed this network of friends on Facebook, and the 95% of them are chiropractors, and so and I've used it as a way of just kind of keeping in touch and just kind of keeping a pulse on that chiropractic community, and making not just Facebook friends but like real friends from that platform. And so on that platform, I noticed people using it to look for chiropractors for maybe a patient that's either on vacation or moving to a new area. Hey, I need a chiropractor in Dubuque, Iowa. Anybody know anybody out there? And really relying on their own network to kind of maybe help find somebody. And some of the things I've seen have been really, really hysterical. Like the one I loved the best was someone was looking for a chiropractor in Orlando, Florida, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so last October, I think it was, Facebook came out with this new recommendations feature in Facebook where, it'll actually show a map. I'm looking for, I don't care if it's a plumber or a chiropractor or a good place to eat in, a certain area. And then it brings up this map, and then you can actually, as a friend of that person, can comment and post like actually pinpoint tag that map of whether it's the restaurant or a chiropractor, and you can see all of these little tags on the map. Well, I saw this one where they were looking for a chiropractor in Orlando, Florida, and the map was of South America, and there were 2 tags on it, one in Brazil and one in Argentina. And I thought, wow, that's not working too well, is it? And so because of that, I started thinking, everyone uses their phone, and I thought, well, what if we had an app for that? Everyone asks that question about it. But so what I did was I started thinking about it and strategizing, and I came up with this app that is basically that. It's a referral network app for chiropractors to refer to other chiropractors. Patients actually can use it to find chiropractors in certain areas, but it's a little bit more than just like a yellow pages. It's dynamic. The chiropractor can build a profile that has some social media aspect to it, where you can really engage in an audience and let people know about who you are, because it's like most people who move, they've had and have had chiropractic care under one particular doctor, whether they were technique specific or maybe even chiropractic college specific, or they want to find somebody just like their old doc, right? And so this allows people to give an insight of who they are, what their practice is like. They can upload videos of patient testimonials. They can upload videos, tours of their practice. They can upload videos of themselves talking about chiropractic and invite people to events that they're holding at their clinic. So really much more dynamic than any kind of a directory normally is. And so I built this, and I'm really excited about it. I think that it has some real potential to become kind of the go-to resource for chiropractors to refer to each other amongst themselves.
So Dr. Tim, the days of, hey, I need a tour in Seattle, I need a tour in San Jose are over then. This sounds like everyone who's listening right now. So every TCP listener needs to actually head over to, where do we head?
You head over, you can do it in a couple of different ways. You can go to the ChiroDex Facebook page, which will allow you to find the app and whatnot. And that is Chiro-Dex. If you just search on that, you'll find it within Facebook. I can drop I can drop some posts as well to kind of take you to where you can get it in the App Store. But even if you go to the right now, we only have it on the iOS platform. So if you go to the iTunes or App Store, you can download it from there. Just search for Chiro-Dex. I had to put the dash in there because somebody else is using that, and I don't even understand why, but they are. So
okay, so here's what we're going to do. So I'm going to also add and make it super simple for everyone who's listening right now. So all the docs listening right now, if you actually expand open the show notes, I'm going to put the link that you can head over to the ChiroDex Facebook page where you can actually get access to the app. Again, I believe I can also add the iOS link as well. So for that app. So it'll all be right there. All you got to do is expand open your show notes right now. If you're listening on your mobile, if you're actually listening on our website, which apparently is about 60% of you, then you can actually look in the show notes right below and you'll see that the links are there directly to go and sign up. The days of looking for a tour are over. Okay. That was last week. So everyone needs, truly, this is a massive solve. We're always complaining, chiropractors are always talking about, how do I get new patients? How do I have more, refer people? I used to have just a list on a Word document in my office of chiropractors I knew. So this is a huge solve. And I think everyone who's listening needs to go and actually sign up for that. So Doc, I'm going to do our segment, which is called Back to the Future. And I saw one of your posts today. And so this is right up your alley. So we're going to actually take you and we're going to put you in the TCP time machine. We're going to send you back to a younger version of yourself. And this is right after you came out of chiropractic college, not long ago. What would you say to that younger self? You have all the current knowledge and life experience you have today. You meet that person who just, that younger self, you just graduated. What would you say to that person?
Wow. The first thing that came to my mind is don't sleep, and I guess what I mean by that is, do the work. Don't rely on anything that you think you have, because it's going to be a new experience for you. And it's going to be a struggle. So be prepared for the struggle, but look up, don't look down, and just do the work and find people that can help you and that you jive with, you know what I mean? That you resonate with, people who think the same way you think, but have some experience and some stuff that they can drop on you that will help make that struggle, because it's going to be a struggle, but help make it a little bit, time travel it a little bit, make it a little smoother. And that's what I do. That's what I tell myself, because I sure needed that.
Awesome. And thank you for that. So here's what we're also going to do is, just before we kind of wrap things up for our interview today too, is I would like you to just drop one resource, something maybe you're reading, maybe a podcast you're listening to that you find is invaluable, everyone should go and listen to or read.
Wow. Resource. So I love to read. My English degree background kind of, I was forced to read. But one of my business mentors is a guy that I actually worked for back, wow, how many years ago was it? Too many. And that was Stephen R. Covey. And if you've read, some of his books, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, I actually want to co-write, maybe with one of his sons, a book called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective Chiropractors. But that book has meant a lot to me, and the philosophy of, that drives what Dr. Covey talks about in that book and others. Another book that he wrote, which maybe it doesn't get as much press, but it's like my favorite book that he wrote, was Principle-Centered Leadership. But I tell you what, if there's ever a time in the history of the world where principle-centered leadership is important, it's today. That's the book that I, especially since it's not one on everyone's mind. It's not one that you'll see on the bestsellers list, but powerful book.
Beautiful, and thank you for that. All right, so TCB listeners, all you got to do is open those show notes. So if you're on your mobile, expand those show notes, and you can get the links to all the resources we discussed today. And if you'd like, you can actually head over to thechiropracticphilanthropist.com. You can actually listen to this episode again, download it if you want, or again, get access to all the show notes and the resources. Dr. Tim, I got to thank you so much for being on the episode today and just bringing it. I mean, I love producers, man. I love people who don't just focus strictly on their practice, but they want to actually expand not just themselves in their business itself, so their four walls, but they want to actually expand the profession as a whole. And I see you as someone who's truly doing that. And I can't wait to see where you are 6 months from now. So thank you for being on the episode today.
Thank you for having me. And Ed, one thing I don't know that I mentioned is it's a free app. Yeah, and I'm going to keep it free for a while, because I really, it's like you said, to me, it's a cool tool, but it's not a cool tool unless people are on it. And so I really, really want to get that out to chiropractors, not have them feel like they're having to pay for it, or, before they can see the value. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I hear you. So everyone who's on our email list is going to get an opportunity to join. And then everyone who's listening to this episode today is going to get an opportunity as well. And thank you so much for giving back.
Alrighty.
So you've heard the struggles, you've heard the successes, and this episode is done. But there's still so much more to come and so much more to learn. Head on over to thechiropracticphilanthropist.com and sign up for our newsletter, where you'll receive free practice building tips and strategies, including how to market your practice with your very own podcast and so much more. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time on The Chiropractic Philanthropist.